Okay, have you ever pitched an idea to an AI hoping for some really sharp feedback, only to get a response that's, well, just a little too nice? It's a super common problem. You're looking for a sparring partner, but what you get is a cheerleader. Today, we're going to dive into a brilliantly simple and kind of weird method to fix that for good and turn your AI assistant into the toughest, sharpest critic you've ever had.
I mean, think about it. You throw out a half-baked idea and ChatGPT just goes, "That's a fascinating approach. Here's how we can make it even better." And sure, that feels good in the moment, but it doesn't actually help you find the huge gaping holes in your logic. It's like having a friend who just never ever tells you when you have spinach in your teeth. Helpful, but not really helpful, you know?
So this whole problem, it actually has a name, and it is a total productivity killer, the AI echo chamber. This is that space where your own ideas just get polished up and reflected right back at you, making you feel like a genius, but keeping you totally blind to your own weak spots and all the assumptions you're making.
At its core, the problem is pretty simple. ChatGPT is literally trained to be helpful and agreeable. That's its job. So when you give it a kind of mediocre idea, its default setting is to try and fix it or build on it. It's not trying to fool you. It's just doing its job a little too well, creating this digital yes man that can't give you the brutally honest feedback you actually need to get better.
And this is where it gets kind of dangerous for your work. This false confidence means you might take a really weak argument to your boss, or a flawed design to your team, or a half-baked strategy into a make-or-break meeting. The AI yes man doesn't just hold you back, it actively sets you up to fail by letting you believe a bad idea is a good one.
So how in the world do we break out of this echo chamber? Well, the solution isn't some super long, complicated prompt or a fancy programming trick. It's actually much, much simpler. And honestly, it's a little bit absurd.
The whole fix works like a mental circuit breaker. It's a shortcut that completely flips the AI's behavior on its head. And it's designed to be super memorable, to jolt both you and the AI into a totally different, more critical way of thinking.
Yup, potato. I know, it sounds silly, but by programming this one totally random word as a trigger, you create an instant shortcut. The second ChatGPT sees potato, it knows it's time to drop the friendly, supportive act and become something way, way more useful. So, how do you set this up for yourself? It's all about giving the AI a brand new personality, a new set of rules it has to follow whenever it sees our trigger word. We're essentially programming our very own hostile critic. This right here is the magic formula. You can literally copy and paste this into a new chat, or even better, save it in your custom instructions so it's always ready to go. Feel free to pause here if you need to. The key phrases are: ignore your helpful persona, act as a hostile critic, and then those really specific non-negotiable demands. You're not asking for its opinion, you're giving it a direct order.
And the result is this incredibly structured, actionable feedback. You're not going to get a vague, I'm not so sure about this. Instead, you get a precise, numbered list of all the vulnerabilities in your idea. The AI's new mission is basically to be your personal red team, stress testing your idea before it ever has to face the real world.
I mean, look at the difference here. On one side, you have the default AI, the collaborator who accidentally fuels your confirmation bias. But on the other, you have the hostile critic. It doesn't try to fix your ideas, it finds the weakest links. It doesn't just agree, it plays devil's advocate. This isn't just a tiny shift, it's a complete role reversal that forces a much-needed reality check.
Now, this isn't just about getting better feedback. By making this one-timey change, you're actually unlocking a whole suite of productivity benefits that can totally change how you develop and pressure test your ideas from now on. The psychology here is actually fascinating. First, it just crushes your confirmation bias by forcing you to look at counterpoints. And this is huge. It triggers what you might call editing mode. You know, starting from a blank page is hard, but reacting to a critique, that's way easier. It also uncovers those hidden assumptions, which are the #1 reason plans fail, and gets you ready for the tough questions you know you're going to get in a real meeting.
And this quote from the source article really drives it home. This isn't just about getting a slightly better argument. We're talking about real tangible savings in time, effort, and money. One simple potato prompt saved a developer a full week of wasted design work. That is an absolutely massive return on investment for a single word.
So here's the real takeaway. We're always told that to get better results from AI, we need to become these master prompt engineers, writing pages and pages of instructions. But this method proves that true AI productivity isn't about writing a better prompt.
It's about building a better system for your own thinking, using the AI as a precision tool to sharpen your own logic.
And what this all comes down to is something incredibly valuable. It gives you permission to start with a bad idea. When you know you have a bulletproof system for finding the flaws, you're not afraid to just throw something imperfect out there. It frees you from that paralysis of overthinking and lets you just focus on what really matters, making actual progress.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. We spend so much time and energy trying to get AI to give us the perfect answer, but what if its true power, its real game-changing ability, lies in helping us ask the perfect question, the one that challenges our assumptions, reveals our blind spots, and ultimately makes our own thinking that much stronger?